Well, we're going to be talking a little bit about the state budget, as you've been hearing about in the news this morning and for many weeks now, as deliberations continue in Lansing. And a little bit later on in the hour, around 7:45, State Representative and Michigan Speaker of the House of Representatives, Matt Hall, will be joining us for the latest on work going on in Lansing. But among the entities here in Michigan that are concerned about how the budget is going to turn out here in Michigan whenever it does get completed, are public transit agencies. Every single county in the state of Michigan has one. And here in Kalamazoo, Metro Transit is led by Sean McBride, Executive Director of Kalamazoo Metro Transit. And he is joining us this morning for a few minutes to share his thoughts on the situation. Sean, good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate the time this morning. I understand public transit leaders from around the state are going to be in Lansing Tuesday to meet with elected officials and maybe put a little pressure on them. What do you expect from this?
Yes, we'll be in Lansing today, meeting with House and Senate representatives. And, our key point is that the state funding for public transit is a key source of our success. We're funded through federal grants, state grants, local approved millages and fares, and state funding for a lot of transit agencies is our biggest source of funding. And over the past few years, that source of funding has drastically decreased. And some of the initial proposals on the tables are to decrease it even more. And it's important that we fund it at an appropriate level so we can provide essential services to the community.
Sean, what is, keeping you up at night over these budget deliberations and the possibility of budget cuts and the uncertainty and challenges that poses? What are your thoughts on that?
A key point is that public transit provides essential services to our communities. We provide economic vitality by getting people to jobs, to school, to medical appointments, and wellness. Medical appointments and just socializing are essential for our community. So last year we did about 2 million rides, and we can't do those 2 million rides without strong state funding to support our efforts. So funding is the number one thing that keeps me up at night, and the state continuing to invest in public transit as well as a lot of other essential services is key to a strong state and for us to be able to grow and provide jobs and have successful medical and housing outcomes for our communities.
Sean McBride is with us, Executive Director of Kalamazoo Metro Transit. He'll be in Lansing with other public transit agency leaders to talk with elected officials about the budget situation. What are your thoughts about what the state legislature, the lawmakers can do to benefit and help you maintain these services?
You mentioned in your introduction that House Speaker Hall is going to be on the radio with you in a little bit, and the House proposal takes a little more holistic, long-term approach to funding public transit and roads, and by increasing the amount of funding that goes into the Act 51 source, which funds both public transit and roads. And if they look at that collectively, our main point is that we're supportive of doing that because that will support our efforts long term. And when you do that, if you increase roads by 25%, also increase public transit at 25%. What we see is that about 15% of individuals don't have availability of a car, so public transit is their means of getting around the community and being successful. And roads are essential, but also public transit is essential to a successful community.
And as we draw closer and closer to a final deadline on the state budget, what would be the best case scenario as far as a solution, as far as you're concerned?
To maintain our level of services and funding, it's about $270 million just to keep the system flat. So that's kind of the bottom line. Some to some stability also into the future years. So some sort of roads package that looks at long-term funding success would be sustainability, and the success would be what we're looking at. Not just a one-year solution, but a multiple-year solution that allows us to plan and not have to plan for cuts.
Well, public transit leaders from across the state will be talking with elected officials on their concerns about the state budget deliberations in Lansing later today. Sean McBride has been with us this morning, the executive director of Kalamazoo Metro Transit. Thanks so much for your time and sharing your thoughts on the situation this morning.
Thank you.